We're still here. What's wrong? Man, I thought the world was supposed to come to an end. I thought we were going to get all destroyed beyond recognition and put us back to the Stone Age. Now, there's still time that could happen. Okay, still could happen. But there's no reason to do it right now. None. Trump got his big bill passed. People want to make a big deal about it, and it's neither here nor there. Some stuff doesn't go into effect till like after the midterm elections. So, does that surprise you? No. Some stuff, man, it takes like 10 years for it to like break down or evolve or over a 10-year period. Well, there's going to be some presidents between now and then. So, all that stuff's going to change. There's a lot of stuff that's going to change. Every 4 years. And then every time Congress gets elected, I mean, come on. It's always changing. So, they want to talk and run their jaws about nothing. Really. Stop and think about it. It's nothing. Okay? If they really wanted to do something novel, tell the truth. Tell the American people the truth. I would like to see somebody get up there and say, fake news. Fake news. You guys lie. Oh, you're this, you're that. What I'd really like to see is ABC, CNN, somebody like that. Doesn't need, I mean, just some guy. Hire some guy that knows his shit. That says, yeah, right here, read this. I'll read it for you, and I'll read it with you, right out of the Internal Revenue. It's optional, voluntary. You read all this stuff that says you don't know a tax. I'd like to see somebody get up there and say, that's fake news. When it's coming right out of their own manuals, out of their own federal code. I'd like to see that. Then all of a sudden they'd have a whole new problem. The news is doing their job. They're telling the American people the truth. You want to upset the cart? Tell the truth. You want to upset the status quo? Your membership and your whoever does it on their show, whatever channel, they just go probably shooting through the roof. I would laugh like hell if CNN called up Alex Jones and said, Alex, we'll give you the best slot we got and no restrictions. That's like unheard of, but you say what you want to say. Tell the truth. Wow, they're going to have a big problem. Especially when he brings guests on. Yeah. They'll think of another way to try to shut them down. So, yeah, it'd be awful interesting, wouldn't it? So, anyways, I kind of got on here to say that and make fun of all the survivalists and doomsdayers. And I mean, I have no problem with them getting on saying, hey, you might watch out, you might get a few things, and be prepared. I have no problem with that. That's just being smart. That's like a public service announcement. You go to the FEMA site. The FEMA site will tell you, you should have this, 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 and that. Even the government will tell you that. But to get on here every day, day in and day out, and like Chicken Little, you have no credibility. Do you honestly think that Trump hasn't got on the phone and let every terrorist organization, every country that harbors terrorists, the whole 9 yards, and said, listen, if your people do anything, you will be held accountable. And being held accountable means we'll assassinate you, we'll kill you. And the American people will be 100% behind it. You go down in that deepest bunker you got and hide. You saw what we can do. You will not live through it. Your family will not live through it. Look at the cartel. You don't knock your shit off in this country, who will come after you? Which is fair. I mean, if the president of Mexico doesn't want to do her job, or can't do her job because it's so corrupt, we have a right to defend ourselves. We have a right to go down there and strike and take those people out. That's just the way it is. So, it's one of those ordeals where people, there's an understanding out there. If something happens, you're a dead man. So that's why don't really count on it. I'm not saying don't have some crackpot out there. There are. There are crazies out there. I mean, look at your own government. But just remember, be prepared. And I'm not talking about just physically, I'm talking about spiritually. Number one, first and foremost, be prepared spiritually. Because it doesn't take an attack, doesn't take some terror, doesn't take anything. It takes a slip in the bathtub. You know? An electrocution in the stupid kitchen. A car accident. Just stupid shit, that you would never think of. The cops always get up there and say, oh, for your safety and ours. Well, every time you get up in the morning, you're taking a risk. Every time you get on the start your car, you're taking a risk. Like I said, every time you go in your bathroom or your kitchen, you're taking a risk. I mean, it's always a risk. You see, they think they like using that propaganda bullshit, psychological crap, like, oh, we're here to protect you. You're not here to protect us. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That means you're going to fail. You will learn from your mistakes and hopefully prosper. I don't see anywhere where it says government is here to protect you. It doesn't say that in the Constitution at all. It says the opposite. It says leave the people the hell alone. That's what it says. Just like the word democracy. I've never seen it in the Constitution, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, nothing. There's a whole lot of things that they say that are just lies. And that's what we need. We need somebody on TV telling the truth. Prime time. and I would like the and I would like the establishment. Doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, bankers, doesn't matter. Stand there and say, hey, that's a fake news. That's a lie. That's that. But then they've got all every like I told you earlier. They show it all with their own documents. But let's go back to what I was talking about earlier about being prepared. First and foremost, you should be prepared with your salvation. That's the most important thing. Your salvation is the most important thing there is. Doing God's will may mean you have to give up yours. You may have to put what you're doing on hold or just totally give it up to do and follow Christ, to do His will and follow Him. It is not about you. It's not about me. It's not about this world. It's about glorifying God. That's what it's all about. Not glorifying ourselves, but God and doing God's will. That's what it's about. And it may take you places you've never been before, and it may be scary, but you know what? God has your back. I know they send these sisters and oh, what the hell they call these people? Oh, people that go over missionaries and stuff, and people like that, and they send them over there into countries where they know it's hostile, where they know they could die to spread God's word, and they do kill people, and they understood the cost. So, with that being said, that may be the cost. You sitting in your home or wherever, really minding your own business, spreading the word. Why do you think God told? I touched on it last time. God told His disciples to buy a sword to defend themselves. You have a right to defend yourself against these people. You're not exacting revenge. You're defending yourself. Big difference. So people follow Christ, do what He wants you to do. So just remember, that's the ultimate. You giving your life, whether it's still while you're still living, giving your life to Christ, or dying and giving your life to Christ. He won't forsake you. You stood up and you stood for and you stood by His word. You do that, God, that's the ultimate. You can't do any more. You can't, that's the highest honor there would be. It's to die for Christ. So, so folks, I hope you had a good 4th. And I hope you have a good time finding Christ and following Him, because that's the only peace you have in life, real peace. And God's got your back. You have found peace. He will take care of everything. He's told you. He gave you His word. So, folks, y'all take care. Hopefully, the rhetoric's not going to slow down. It's gonna increase. You know, I saw, like I said, you can't believe everything you hear or see. You shouldn't probably believe any of it. But when the president stands up there and says if the governors don't do their jobs, he will. They don't call it the National Guard and quash these anybody, Antifa rioters, gangmen. If they don't quash it, take care of it. He will send in heavily armed, full-time military. Now that's called martial law, and he'll put a curfew up. So the thing I saw when he was saying it, he was American flag was behind him. He was talking at a podium, but that was it. You just saw him and the flag. Now whether it was AI generated, who the hell knows? But that's what I saw and heard. So folks, we not only have to prepare for disruptions possible because of some bullshit little asshole out there, that wants to destroy something, but your own government. And like I pointed out before, no one's killed more of their own people than their own governments. Their own governments have killed more of their own than any war. And they weren't at war. They just wanted to starve them and kill them, and because they're just inherently evil. And what's more evil than killing innocent babies? I can hear it now. That's my humor. It's not your right. And I'll tell you that right now. It is not your right. You want to say it's my body? It's not your body. God died on the cross. His blood paid for that body. God owns you. He owns me. He owns everything. He owns this universe. He owns this cigar. He owns it all, man. He paid for it. He created it and he paid for it. Lock, stock, and barrel. So when you want to sit here and says my body is my choice, no, it's not. That's Satan, and that's Satan's propaganda and bullshit is what that is. God would never condone it. Never. It's some kind of sin to think that's your body. Some kind of sin just to think that, you're so arrogant that look what I've done, look at all what I've created. Look, if you're that arrogant, God doesn't want nothing to do with you. I mean, like you said, he goes to where the sinners are. Doesn't need to hang out in churches and synagogues and so forth, even though there's a lot of hypocrites in there. But he goes to where the sinners are. It's kind of like people still mourning the dead. We don't mourn the dead. They're buried, they're gone, they're done. It's the living. Care about the living, not the dead. There's a lot of things people just forget about because this world's 24/7, because these stupid phones and computers and all the bullshit. And all the propaganda on it, too. Yeah, I should stop there. Folks, have a good one.